Hey everybody, it is Margaret and welcome to my channel, Texas Gal Treasures. My channel is all about making and saving money and I welcome you. This evening I am doing a video all about the Printful and Etsy integration. Some of the questions that I've gotten have to do with other things other than the Printful and Etsy integration, but Printful and other things. So I will share that with you guys as well. I've been getting quite a few questions about Printful and Etsy and Printful in general that I thought I would just come on and create a video sharing the answers. And I am live, so if other questions pop up, I can answer them. And if I don't know the answer, I know somebody who does, and maybe he'll show up because he sometimes likes to come and hang out in the videos. But, all right. Let me get some housekeeping out of the way. If you look down below in the description box, I've got a few links. I've got some links to just my basic walkthrough on how to set up an Etsy store, and then I'll link them in this video as well. And I've got a link sharing how to set up the Printful and Etsy integration. And what else did I put down there? Oh, and then the pros and cons of Printful versus Merch by Amazon. Or we can do both. Why not, right? Okay, so there's that. Also, if you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe. So go down and hit the subscribe button. I do videos all about different ways to make and save money, whether it's selling on eBay, Etsy, print on demand. Those are the big chunk of them, but then also all sorts of tutorials and different ways to make money. So hello. Hello, everybody in the chat. Let me pop it up over here. I am doing this. Here we go. There. Aha! Hello, everybody. Hey, Rosanna and Terry, Gina and Lydia. Hello, Exceptional Treasures and Cheryl. Hey, Joni. How's it going? Alrighty. So, I keep flipping that over. Sorry if you're getting dizzy by me flipping things around. I got some questions, and I thought I would hit some of those first. But if you're here and you have questions, definitely let me know because I want to hit those too. Okay, let me see if I can. There we go. That's why I couldn't move that the other day. Okay, whatever. All right, so one of the questions I got was what kind of things does Printful offer? So let's say you're doing merch or you're on the 10 tier or maybe you haven't gotten into merch yet. The cat, that's Luke. Okay, sorry, my cat's. Why? Why now? That's Luke. Okay, so what is, welcome to my crazy house. All right, so that is so distracting. All right, so what does Printful offer? Let's take a look at some of the things that Printful offers. So one, when you get to set up your Printful store, there are tons of different things that you can choose from. This is just the sort of landing page where it breaks it down. So shirts, it's not just one shirt. So you click on shirts, and it's not just t-shirts. If you click on t-shirts, these are men's or unisex. There's tons of different styles, makes. I don't use all of these. I honestly haven't scrolled through all of these. Now that I'm looking at them, oh, I kind of like this. Maybe I'll start adding in some of these. What do they call them? Ringer tees. Those look kind of nice. Or maybe I just like the model. Okay, keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. So yeah, this is the one I use the most often, Bella Canvas, on this one. Hey Mitch, how's it going? So also, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. So not just t-shirts. Pop it up, you. There are tank tops, long sleeves, hoodies. I'm not going to flip through all of this for you guys. Ladies shirts, ladies tanks. There's quite a few different youth shirts and youth, you can't say onesies, but babies' bodysuits and t-shirts and stuff. So there's all of that, but then there's also different types of wall art, posters. You can get it printed on canvases. There is different kinds of hats and mugs, all over t-shirts, different kinds of bags, leggings, pillows, of course, different kinds of pillows, phone cases, socks and dresses, skirts, and towels. And then I'm hearing from Jeff that he's one of the beta testers for sublimation or all over print bathing suits, so 2-piece and one piece. So that's coming. So that's kind of exciting. So there's a lot of options with Printful. Now, oh, hey Terry, nice to meet you. Let's see. All right, so one of the other questions I also get is, do I have to do Etsy? Maybe you don't like Etsy, or maybe you want to try it on your own website. You don't have to use Printful with Etsy, and I'll talk about the Amazon integration as well that is there. Okay, let me get back to here. Where am I? So look, here's where on Printful it shows. If you're on Printful's site and you click on stores, if you scroll down, it'll say create a new store. So these are all of the platforms that Printful will push their items to, just like with the integration with Etsy. It integrates with all these other sites too. Shopify, WooCommerce, I think that's Weebly, Amazon, what is that? Gumroad. Oh, look, it tells me. Haha. Inktail, Ticktail, which I've never heard of, Squarespace. There's tons of them. Store Envy, ShipStation, Big Cartel. What is that? Yeah, Shopify. BigCommerce. And then you can also use it to connect with these over here. You're not seeing my mouse, so that's kind of weird. I don't know why that's happening. But Magneto, PrestaShop, and eBay. So, and then you can also order manually. Let's say you just want a one-off for yourself. You can order straight through the Printful platform. And also, if you are thinking about trying this, I would really appreciate it if you use my link down below. There's a link for Printful, and there's also a link if you choose to do Etsy. If you're setting up a new shop, there's a link for 40 free listings if you sign up with my my link down below. So there's that. Okay, next question. If there's any questions that pop in the chat, definitely let me know. Or if you're here live, let me know, and I'll answer that question. And if you're watching later and I don't get to a question that you have, leave a comment down below, and if I don't get to it in another video, I'll respond back. Or every Wednesday we have Merch Talk, where we talk about Merch by Amazon and other print-on-demand platforms, so we can talk about it there too. Okay, so the next question, I've got too many windows. I'm trying to find, those are my questions. Okay, do I have to sync with Etsy? No. Okay, and then the Amazon one, I was going to tell you guys about this, and I know Jeff did a brief video recently explaining this. There is a way to link now with Amazon if you're wanting to have your products printed through Printful. It's not Merch by Amazon. It's printed still through Printful, but it integrates with Amazon. And it used to be where you had to have a trademarked brand, and there was a big process to get this and to be approved for that. But now you can do, I forget what it's called. There's a way to do it where you fill out a form, you have to print it off, and you scan it back in. And it was really, I mean, Jeff was talking to me or messaging me as he did it, and it was very, very quick. And so he was able to start pushing his Printful products to Amazon through the Seller Central platform. If you're an FBA seller, you know how that runs with the Seller Central. Okay, so that's also cool too. So yes, oh yes, go over there and hit the thumbs up, my friends. How many people do we have? 23. Go over there and hit that thumbs up. Okay, so some of the other questions I've got, and I'm going to go through some of these questions, and then I'm going to walk through just the process of me putting a shirt up there. So you'll see one of my Etsy stores, the one that I share when I do tutorials, and then kind of the process, because I do get that question a lot. Just that the process of getting the shirt or the design onto there and then over to Etsy. There's anyway. Okay, so Merch Chicken asked a question, said, would it be possible to have someone that uses Printful with Amazon seller appear on your Merch Talk as a guest? I already answered that. Yes, Jeff started, so I'll have to ask him if he knows anybody else who's been doing it for a little while that we can have on. Oh, thank you, Sheila. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, Rebecca asked, what is the process to upload them to Etsy instead of using photos from Printful? Okay, so this kind of leads itself into, let me start the process for creating a shirt. So what I recommend would be, when you're setting up Printful to integrate with Etsy, you've got to have a place for Printful to go. So set up your Etsy shop, and when you set up, and again, I'm going to link the video on how to set up an Etsy shop. When you create an Etsy shop, they do ask for you to have a listing ready to go. Well, if you're doing the Printful and Etsy integration, you don't have a listing yet, right? Because it's like you're putting the cart before the horse. So what I do is I just made like what I called a dummy listing, like a fake listing where it's just like a random picture, and I put $1 million on it just to get through that process. And once the store was set up, I just deleted it and then started creating my listings from Printful to push to Etsy. So going from there, so let me just walk through that real quick. So what I would do now that I have both stores set up, I would come over to, where'd you go? Here we go. To this, and I click on add, and then, hello again, click on shirt. Let's say I'm just going to do a straight shirt. You know what? Let's do something fun. Let's do a tank top, because those are pretty good sellers. So I've got a tank top here, so I can decide, you know, US, Europe. Well, it's not available in Europe, darn. Okay, so next, I generally select all colors, although only 10 will show, because you only have 10 images on Etsy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sometimes just for ease, I'll just select 10 because it's easier that way. And then you get to the part where you are uploading your design. Okay, so it's that easy. Now let's say you don't have a design to upload and you just want to make a text shirt. There's a place on here to do that too. You can just say, hello you, and that can be your shirt, and it'll, whoops, and it would help if you could see it. I'm going to make it white, right? So you could do a text-based shirt or whatever within Printful. You don't even have to go create a design. I mean, it's that easy. So, but that's not what we're doing here. But if you wanted to, and they have, oh, it says soon, clip art, yay. All right, so I'm going to upload a file. This is one that I've already done. So here it is. This is my rainbow trilobite. So you can see what the print area is by making it bigger, smaller. So if I want it to be one of those like pocket tees, like, oh, it's going to be like on my little pocket. Or if you want it to be big, you can do that. And like so. So easy peasy. That's how that goes. And then you proceed to mock-ups. Now some of them have, okay, here's a pro tip. If you have a mock-up that has wrinkle front and flat front, and it gives you both options, choose one, because I think Young was having the problem where both of them were on there, and it was like repeating the same shirt, but one was wrinkled, one was regular, and so all the colors weren't getting, so he was having to go in there manually and fix it, so it was kind of annoying to him. So here we go. So that's my mock-up. Okay, it looks great. Proceed to description. This part, when I get to this part, I don't do anything. If I want to fill in the title, I do it on the Etsy side, because usually at this point I'm uploading the 3 different tank tops, 5 different shirts, the pillows, the this, the that, the other thing. So I just like go over and take care of that later. Oh, let me scoot the chat up so you guys can see where we are. Okay, so at this point, and you can put your tags in here. I generally don't. I find it easier to do it on Etsy. So then I proceed to pricing. I have been keeping my pricing just at what they recommend, but you can mess around with it if you want to say, you know, I'll just take a $4 profit, or, you know, whatever. So you can do that in this step. Trust me, if you're wanting to change the price, it's way easier to do it at this step than go back retroactively and try to change it, because I tried on one and it was just really confusing. Maybe it was just me, but it was confusing. And then at this point, you can also select the product section. I sometimes will do this here, because I have tank tops in my store, and then this you have to set up on Etsy. So, and then submit to store. So at this point, it just sends it to my Etsy store and it puts it in draft. So it's just waiting there for me, and it'll wait there until I'm ready to go and put it up. So sometimes I'll spend an evening where I just upload to Printful, Printful, and it's just pushing them over, and then like another day I'll go through on Etsy and create the listings and flesh them out, you know. It just depends, because I can do that step I can do it just like while I'm watching TV, you know, pushing shirts, pushing designs. I don't even have to think about words, you know, so that's helpful. Okay, again, if you guys have any questions in the chat, please pop them in, and if not, I'll just keep going with what I've got. Okay, so the next question, let's see, what was the process to upload them to Etsy? Okay, do I open my Etsy store first? We already talked about that. Do I upload all my designs on t-shirts and then open the, okay, we kind of talked about that too. All right, and I'm going to go through some of the other questions, and then I'll come back and show on Etsy like what I do. Okay, Chris McCauley asked, have you noticed a difference in marketplace when comparing merch by Amazon to Printful and Etsy? Do your successful merch designs usually transfer over to Etsy? And I would say on that one, not really, because my top seller over Q4 on Etsy maybe sold a few, 3 or 4, maybe on Amazon. But the design that sold more on Etsy, the funny thing was it was a Christmas design, right? So it was selling on phone cases, it was selling on pillows, it was selling on tank tops, it was selling on sweatshirts, and like that. So it was selling on other items than just plain t-shirts, you know. So I think just having just t-shirts where Amazon, you know, well, it's more than t-shirts now, but it's kind of limiting. So maybe as Amazon branches out, there'll be more there. So how many test stores are you allowed to have? From what I understand, I haven't heard about a limit. I mean, somebody was saying earlier that you can have 5 different stores on Etsy. There's some rules as far as that goes. They have to be set up with different emails. You can't have the same item in more than one store. And then also you have to disclose in your store description, you know, that you've got these other stores as well. I think there may be something else. So you can have, I think someone was saying 5, but I've never heard that there was an actual limit. So I do have, like, I have one for my homeschool stuff. I've got one for my vintage. I've got my print on demand. I moved my digital downloads to my homeschool store just to make it easier. So it would, yeah, this one would be a little better. Pardon me. Oh, thanks, Sheila. She says, I have some of my own art. Can I use that somehow? Absolutely. My, I'll call her my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law. They're shacking up. I'm going to pull up Redbubble. She doesn't have it on Etsy yet. I'm thinking maybe she will, but she's an artist. And let me see, what's her thing name? What's her thing name? Nice words. Nice wording, Margaret. Oh, okay. The Art Flirt. The Art Flirt. So she's an artist. She paints, and she was wanting to get some of her things put up. Oh, well, no, that's not what I typed in. The Art Flirt. Let's see if her shop will come up or if it's going to correct me again. Anyway, I have some. I do. Haha. So this is one of her pieces, like her paintings. And on Redbubble, she was able to make it into a phone case. You could do the same thing with Printful and Etsy as well. So she was able to make it into a phone case. I made a video sharing, because I bought a few of her different, you know, this is the little pouch that had one of her paintings on it. So yeah, you could totally do that. It's awesome. So yeah, she was able to make prints that people could buy, because I would love to buy it. This is the reason I bought everything with this owl on it, is because I would love to buy the original painting, but I just can't afford it. So this way I can still have some of her stuff, but not have to buy. If I had the money, I would do it. I just can't do it. So, okay. Next question that I got was Marshall Giggleman, which I love the name. I have a lot of questions about this. I struggled through setting up a dummy listing. Oh, okay, and I already talked about the dummy listing. That's why I saved that. Yeah. So when you're creating your Etsy store, it's going to ask you to add a listing. Just make, I call it a dummy listing, but just like a placeholder, and then delete it. Yeah, Sheila, she's so good. She's so good. So check her out, Art Flirt. She's on Instagram too. I think she's got a website where she goes through her process. She's amazing. Her store's on Etsy. No, her store's on Redbubble. She started on Redbubble. It's just another print on demand, but she could have totally. They didn't have pouches. I wish they don't have pouches on Printful, and they don't have journals, which I really wish they did. So you just load up a picture of it. Yep. I mean, there's dimensions it'll ask you to make sure that, you know, or it'll say like this picture's too big or this picture's too small. It should be this size file. It'll let you know when you're uploading it, because sometimes when I'm uploading, say I have an image, it's doing great when I'm putting it on shirts, and then I'll go to put it on a towel and I'll like stretch it really big, and Printful will say, "Whoa, Margaret, slow down. That's too big. You need to put it on, or make it smaller or something, or upload a bigger file size." Yeah, I've had that problem. So you just upload a picture of it, the art. Okay, or a file. I don't know if she scanned it in. I'll have to ask her how she did hers. Yeah. Okay, so Jessie, I'm going to say this wrong, Agri said, hello, I'm creating my Etsy store to integrate with Printful. The problem I have right now is pricing and quantity side. You talked about Etsy, so you don't have to worry about it. When creating the Etsy store, you're inserting everything manually. Wait, now I'm confused by the question. No sense, Printful recognition, whatever. Printful button users. Okay, I guess I don't quite understand. I think I talked about the pricing. I mean, once you're through with the pricing on, yeah, if you're going to edit the pricing, do it when you're on Printful, because when you get to Etsy and you're trying to figure out, because on Printful it'll show you right there, like this is your profit margin. When you get to the Etsy side, it doesn't show you like your profit margin. So you're fiddling with things, and yeah, it's better to go to the original source, I think, to make those changes. Okay. Hopefully I answered that question. If not, please message me or leave a comment and I'll figure it out. And Hazel says, can you use photography for the art? I think so. I've seen photographs that people have used. You have to try it. What you might want to do is try it and then order, like put it at an inexpensive price and then order one for yourself to test it and see how it looks. But on merch I have used photography for a couple of shirts, mostly for ones my boys wanted, but it turned out okay. So this 8PWSNAZ asked, is there a solid reason why someone would have to open a separate shop for selling t-shirts and the like via Printful instead of just adding them to an existing shop? It's just personal preference. If you were selling vintage or handmade goods on Printful, on Etsy, you could totally add it to that shop. If you wanted just to have one store, you could. But I do it because I just didn't want to flood my store with the print-on-demand stuff. And you'll see what I mean in just a minute when I share what my store looks like, because I'm going to show you a tip for that as well. So the next and last question that I've got is, how do you rearrange items so they aren't stacked with one design? And that's what I'm going to talk about right now. So I shared with you guys, and again, if you're watching and you didn't hit the like button, go do it right now. Yeah, go. I'm going to say it like a break-in. Go smash the like button. I can't get his enthusiasm on the smash though. So, all right, here we go. Let me see. So I have a shop. This is the one that I share mostly designs I do together or for tutorials. Texas Gal Designs, and as you can see, this is what, I'm going to be honest, that question was mine because it took me a while to figure it out. So when I was uploading this tie-dye sloth design that I did, as you can see, if somebody came to visit my store, it'd be like, oh my gosh, Sloth City, thanks, but no thanks. I'm interested in other stuff too. So what you can do is you'll come over to your shop's your shop manager, and over here, trust me, it took me forever to find this when I was looking for it. You'll come over here to where this little pencil is, and you will click the pencil. When you do that, it pops up your store, and here where it's, did I click away from it? It says rearrange items. Can y'all see that on here? Oh, let me scroll down so y'all can see it. So right here where it shows this little 4-way arrow, rearrange items, you can click on that, and then it'll show your items and it'll say move to page whatever, right? So let's say I want to move this guy to page 6, and then did it do it? Hang on, maybe I think there's a button hiding that I need. Let me make this bigger real quick. Move to page 6, move to page 6. Here we go. Okay, so he moved to page 6, and then it'll take me to page 6 and show, like, here's all the stuff on page 6. Okay, well, let's move this to page 1. So it might take a few minutes just to, like, maybe you just want to go through and shuffle things to have more stuff on page 1 that's unique, different items. You know, let's send this to page, I don't know, 7. And then you'll go to page 7 and pick something from there. Okay, let's move this to page 1 because I'd like to have some different things on page 1. So just a tip, you know, that if you're wanting to get some different things on the front page and it's not just all, because I was working on sloths that day, well, now I'm going to move this to page 1, you know, so got more variety. Or if you want to get all your baby onesies on the first page, then that's something you can do as well. So there's that. Just trying to scoot you this. Hey, Jeff. How you doing? Okay, so I had to take the opportunity. The guys are at Scouts, so I had to take the opportunity to do this. Okay, now how do I get out of this? So then I think there's a button at the bottom that says View Shop. Boop, there. Okay, so then now I've got a little more variety on my shop, like so. Okay, then, okay, so I was going to show you guys another question. I know I had this question, but now I don't see it. Someone was asking, so let's say you've got your own mock-up and you've got like a model mock-up and you don't want to use just the ones Printful has for you. But as you guys saw, when I sent the Printful shirts over, they were all just like, hang on, let me pull that up so you can see. I'm visual, so you might be too. That's why you're watching here. Can't say, I know, okay, did I say onesie? Where are you? You need to fast forward, Jeff. We're not talking about onesies anymore. Okay, then, okay, so the shirt that we were creating over on Printful, and I told you it was going into draft. If you'll come to listings, click on listings, and then over here off to the side, it'll say draft. So I have all these shirts in draft. Click on that. And then here's that tank top we were working on, okay? If I had a shirt, you know, that I wanted to upload that, this is not the one we were working on, hang on. That is not the right one. Let's see, where'd it go? Is that the very end? Let me see if it's stuck it at the end. Oh, here it is, okay. So if I had a shirt mock-up that I wanted to upload here, pretend like these are t-shirts because I messed up and I made a t-shirt example instead of this. Then what you would do is on the Printful, on the Etsy side, you would come in, if you had all your spots filled, you would have to choose one to delete. So let's say I'm going to delete this one. So now I can add another photo. Hopefully I'm being clear. So then you'll click on add a photo, and this is where you can upload the mock-up that you created somewhere else. I created a mock-up on Make Merch because I use Make Merch. So it's loading, and I'll show you what it looks like in just a sec. So here's my mock-up. They have some fun mock-ups over on Make Merch. So my guy, he's a bear. Adjust my thumbnail so you can see him. He's a bear. Arr. Okay, so I can have it down like so, or have my bear guy just like that. I can zoom it in or whatever. So he's a bear. Anyway, the mock-ups on Make Merch, this is not an ad for Make Merch, but they're fun because you can play with the different models. You can change the background and make the backgrounds different and all that. So there's that. Even though I know it's not a tank top, I'm not going to make this one live. I'll just delete it in a bit. So you can, that's how you upload if you have your own mock-up from somewhere else that you're like, oh, I want a model mock-up. Do it on the Etsy side. Delete off one of your listings, or if you haven't used them all, then do that. Okay. So 2 things to note when you're listing your shirts that are very important. One is where it says about this listing, you're going to select who made it, another company or person, even though you designed it. So here it'll say this is a handmade product with production assistance. And then the second thing that you have to make sure that you do down here is that you have to click Printful as your production partner. Now you can choose to hide this. There's a place in here. There's a place where if you don't want your customers to know that, then you can hide it. I don't understand why. There may be a reason why, but I don't see the reason to hide it from anybody. Because why? I don't know. So yeah, and then, you know, I've got my sections. Here I fill in all my tags, but I do that totally differently. I think I'll have to do a separate video because I don't know how long I've been at this. Toy Addict says, do you use Teacher Pay Teachers for your homeschool digital downloads? I do. I put it on both. I have a different shop for that. I can show you that too if you want. So if you guys don't have any more questions as far as, what do I have over here? As far as the Etsy or Printful or anything like that, I'll save it. I'll probably do another video walking through creating listings again, maybe next week. So yeah, let me look in I'll show you the Teacher Pay Teacher. I mean, not the Teacher Pay Teacher, but I'll show you my digital download thing. And I've gotten a few requests on showing how to do the digital download, so I'll have to put something together for that as well. Yeah, so anyway, one other thing I was going to share, if you've made it this far in the video, congratulations. I have a Patreon account that basically, I know that, here's the thing. Some people get all weird about Patreon. I'm not asking, like, there are people that are artists that get money off of Patreon to support themselves. On my Patreon, you're paying for a service. You get something for what you pay for. So if you choose a particular tier, that is. So for $5 a month, I share my top selling design from the previous month. And so I share the link to it on Amazon. I share, you know, why, if it was one I bought, I explain why I chose it. If it's one I created, I share why I created it and what my thought process was. And then I talk you right through, like, here's what I did with the description, the keywords. This is why I chose what I did, you know, and I give the whole spiel on that. So there's that. That's the $5 a month. On the $10 a month, the person would send me a shirt, a design, and I don't upload it. I create the title, keywords, bullets, and do all of that for you, because I know some people struggle with writing the keywords and things. So that's something that I offer. I'm considering adding back a $15 a month where you can do both. I used to design shirts for my Patreon, but when I started homeschooling, it was just impossible for me to continue that. But if you have any help, I'm definitely available. You know, I will charge fees for my time, but if you're needing help with keywords, titles, or just tutorial, whatever, definitely let me know. And I know some people get upset about people having services, but I have no shame about it, because we got to support our families, and this is it. My husband's out of work, so this is how we're supporting our families. So, you know, it changes everything when you're feeling like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. Like, forget it. You know, got to support the family. So anyway, there's the links. I'm going to link the videos that I talked about, you know, walking through Printful and Etsy and setting up Etsy shop. And then I think that was pretty much it. I think so. Okay. Thank you guys all for coming to watch. Go over there. Again, hit that thumbs up button. If you are watching later, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've got any questions or things you need help with that I can help with, or point you in the right direction, because Jeff, who is actually in the chat, knows probably more about Printful than I do. He's done some cool videos and would be able to answer other questions. So also check us usually on Wednesdays. We're live today for Merch Talk, because you can ask questions live in the chat on Merch Talk and we answer those. And we don't just talk about Merch by Amazon, we talk about other print-on-demand platforms as well, because we want everyone to be successful. You know, it's not one of those things that if one person's successful, everybody else is a failure. You know, there's room for everyone in the merch and print-on-demand playground. So we're happy to have you. So yeah, and if you're interested also, you can find us in the Facebook groups Merch University. That's Joe Clay's Facebook group. He also has a YouTube channel, and also Merch Minds, which is Glenn, Zubia, and Young's Facebook group as well. So I'm in both of those, so if you're needing help. And there's lots of other really awesome people to help as well. All right, again, thanks again so much, everybody, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, y'all.